Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to episode 3 of our Let's Play. First and foremost, I'm going to say apologies for the delay in between episode 2 and 3. I'll go into more reasons later on. But for the moment, let's just get straight into it, shall we? As you can see, I've upgraded the base slightly since the last time we spoke. So I've put all wood flooring in, I've made the walls out of smooth stone and the roof out of stone half slabs, which were fixed with the last update to Minecraft for the Xbox. Now what are we going to be doing today? Well, first of all, we're going to have a snooze. And now we've woken up, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little slime collection area, because at the moment, remnants of a dead zombie there, at the moment we can't really make many mechanisms, as most of them rely on sticky pistons. For those of you who don't know what a sticky piston is, it's a mechanism that's required to make the majority of the automated systems that you can build in Minecraft. It's in fact, I'll show you. Apologies for a slight detour, but there we are. There has a regular piston which will push a block up into the air and then drop it back down again. And there is a sticky piston which allows you to do the same thing, but allows you to push the blocks and then pull them back in again, so you can make things like piston doors. Now to do that, we need slimes. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is to help us with future projects and future farms, is we're going to go and find some slimes. Now, slimes only spawn in roughly, I think it's 10% of chunks within the Minecraft world. Now a chunk is basically a 15 by 15 block. So all we're doing at the moment is following the line of torches. I did do some preparation before we start off here today. Basically I used an app called the Slime Finder, and what that tells you is where the slime chunks are. So the closest slime chunk to home base is roughly here. This block here is part of said chunk, and again you can find the coordinates for the closest slime chunk to you using the Slime Finder app via the Minecraft forums. So the bit told me to go to was minus 229 or 230 and Y70, so that's us here. So without further ado, start digging, shall we? And as you can see, I've made up a few pickaxes, a couple of shovels, and most importantly some ladders, because what we're going to do is basically dig down to bedrock, and that will allow us to find the slimes. Now, I know what you're going to say, digging down, never a good idea, and I agree, which is why I'm making a 2 wide tunnel. Now, some of you may or may not remember that I did say in the first episode I wasn't going to do too much off-camera work to start with, and I do apologise for you just jumping back in and finding that I've completely changed the base and found the slimes and done all that. That wasn't deliberate. I did actually record another episode where I was going into the ravine just outside the base to collect some resources, and sadly during the recording of that episode my microphone cut out and stopped working. So I had half the episode in full audio and the other half with just the occasional sporadic blurt from myself. So unfortunately, because I couldn't re-record over the top of it, I was forced to delete it. It was all very sad. So this is really episode 4, but it's episode 3 because episode 3 sadly had to be abandoned. So as I say, all I'm doing just now is digging down to bedrock level, and every kind of few blocks down, digging out a hole and putting in a torch to stop anything spawning down here while we're digging away. So if you're going to do one of these, just make sure you've got plenty of torches, plenty of ladders, and it's always useful to have a crafting table and at least one chest for you to put items in. Just had a thought actually, just give me 2 moments. Given the amount of rubbish that you do end up digging out when you're making these things, I'm going to make a second chest just before we go down. Apologies, the thought just occurred to me there. So it's not much we need, just enough to build another chest. So we'll do that once we get down there. And as you can see, we're already a fair bit down. Gravel. The enemy of miners and crafters everywhere. The most irritating block in the game, completely and totally useless. Provides flint, I suppose, which you need for flint and steel, but not in the quantities that you run into this stuff in while playing with your world. Oh, there's some iron. Excellent. Hopefully I'm going to have enough ladders for this. Yeah, because I'm not 61 blocks off the ground. Shouldn't be a problem. Torch in there. The other reason there's been a slight delay between episode 2 and what is now episode 3 is I've been on holiday, so obviously couldn't record after I went on holiday, and tried to record beforehand, but I say it failed. I've still got further plans for the base. At the moment that'll suffice for our home at present, I'm sure you'll agree. But after a wee while I'll start to expand it a little bit, build some more further down, expand it out a little bit, and what I'll do is once this is all cleared out and sorted, some iron there guys. Once this is all cleared out and sorted, I will try and connect this to the base so we don't need to keep going over the land. Should maybe have brought some iron with me. Quite like to have a little incinerator when I'm down underneath the ground, just to get rid of all the gravel that you end up having to dig out. See, it's the most useless block in the game. Well, possible exception of lapis lazuli, but it at least looks nice and doesn't drop on your head when you dig underneath it. And oh yes, I meant to say, a little bone to pick with you guys. It's got quite a few views, which I'm delighted about, on episode 1 and episode 2, but not quite so many views on episode 1.5, and young Vanellope that was helping me out with that joint world is a little bit miffed at the fact that not as many folks seem to like the joint world as seem to like like this one. So if you could go back and have a wee look at that one, just give me some comments on it. Let us know what you'd like us to do next. And who knows, we may do a joint Let's Play at some point. But it'll just be me talking because there's only one computer and therefore only one headset. As I say, I do take quite a few of my ideas decoratively from Penelope 1991. Her decoration skills far outstrip my own, although she's even worse than me at Redstone. Don't think she'll mind me telling you that. I'm sure if I get an angry comment on the video from her, then we'll realise that she does mind me telling you that, but let's see what happens. Dig, dig, dig. Right, so again, the usual request. If you like the video, leave it a like. Even better, leave me a comment, let me know what I did well, let me know what I didn't do very well. I would fast forward this bit of me just digging down, but I don't know how. So I'll use this opportunity to introduce myself a little better. I do really apologise for the delay in between episodes. I do promise it won't be as long between episode 3 and episode 4. Once this is done, we can start building some more impressive mechanisms. Once we get the slimes coming through to allow me to make my sticky pistons. See, it's not going to be a proper farm, as it doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of, it's an area that they spawn in. So hopefully they'll spawn in this area. I'm not actually sure if you remember, I showed you in my previous world that I had an area where slimes spawn. I'm not sure if they've actually changed the chunks for the latest update, because I haven't had one in there in a little while. Hey ho. Got tons anyway. There's some coal. Again, coal's a pretty common resource, but as we're just starting out here, don't really have all that much of it, so I'm happy to take it where I can get it. And it's always helpful to have more torches. There's my first pickaxe bites the dust. Now here's where I do miss having Penelope 1991 here, because she loves to mine, so I can go and be creative while she digs out the tunnels. And okay. Well, this guy is a very special moment. It's the first time we've been down deep enough to find redstone. Yep, there we are. The lifeblood of Minecraft. The ore that lets you make creations untold. And just as a little plug, there is a book that I found in my local Waterstones, which is essentially all about the things you can create using redstone. It's not much of a tutorial book, but just gives you a couple of wee starting tips. See, when I started watching the Minecraft Let's Plays that I was watching, I was a complete novice at Minecraft. I'd only heard about it from two very good friends of mine who had played it with friends of theirs, I think, and said it was good, so I watched a couple of Let's Plays and yeah, really enjoyed it. So if you're watching this and you haven't played Minecraft before, yeah, do. It's awesome. So this, I've got big plans for the base, for things we could do in the future, but my plans are only worth doing if it's what you guys want to see, and we have bedrock. Awesome. So this is bedrock level. So slimes spawn roughly level 8 or 9. So that's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Okay. So we'll build up to that point. Okay, so this will do us here, guys. And what I'm going to do essentially is dig in that direction 15 blocks, in that direction 15 blocks, and in that direction 15 blocks, and you guessed it, 15 blocks in that direction as well. Okay, that's just to give us as big an area as possible. Getting a bit dark in here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14. There we are. 15 blocks in that direction. Stick a torch in there. Two. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Oh. So over here, turns out, we have a cave system. Right. So I'll block it off and torch it up just now, but it's always handy to know. And I'm going to be digging in that direction anyway, so I'll just floor it just now. 15 that way, 15 this way. Some lapis lazuli. And some gold. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So one more. And 15. There we go. Dig there now while I'm here. There's no point whatsoever in doing that. Collect the cobblestone there. And dig the rest of that gold out. Again, gold is another block that's not particularly useful, unfortunately. You can make armour out of it, you can make tools out of it, but the tools, although they do chew through the blocks at great speed, they're not very reliable. They do break quite quickly. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dig this wee bit out here. Next way I'm going to go is this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's another thing I often do, is I'll put a hole in the ceiling and put a torch up there so it acts as a downlighter, far more reliable, and really it's the only option when you're making a room as big as this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right guys, definitely what I'm going to do is, if I can, no promises, I'm going to try and cut out some of this digging, because it must be boring you to death. If it gets to that point where I have enough subscribers, I might do some live streaming. But until then, what I'll do is I'll leave this as it is, and I'll dig it out off camera so you can see. So all I've done is, from the ladder with that as block 1, I've gone 15 that way, 15 that way, 15 that way, and 15 that way initially. We may expand it out later depending on how it's going with the slimes, how many we're getting, etc. And the only other thing I'm going to do is dig out enough to put my chests and my crafting table down. And the other one I forgot is a furnace. So we'll have the chest and the crafting table on one side and the furnace on the other. I'll just chuck mags away. Silly. Right, so turning our attention back to the base, if anyone has any ideas what they think I should do with it, what they'd like to see me do with it, then by all means please share them. I'm always willing to hear your suggestions and always interested to hear your suggestions, so let me know. So that's the next thing I'm going to do is place my temporary crafting station down here. Until the farm is operational. Call it a farm, it isn't strictly as I said earlier, but until it's operational, why not use it as a little mining centre at the same time. So put that there and construct a second chest. Put my 2 chests there. As I say, at the moment that's just to house anything that we dig out that isn't particularly of any use, like so gravel and the amount of cobblestone that we're going to end up with, because we don't have, obviously the base is very basic at present, we don't have a storage room, we don't have anything like that, so we can't really store it anywhere, so we'll store it down here until such times as I have somewhere up there to store. Now some of you will have seen obviously on other people's Let's Plays fantastic storage systems. I've got to say I've been very impressed with some of the storage systems that people have come up with. Sadly I can't do them because unless I'm missing them, unless they're very obvious somewhere and I just haven't noticed them. There's an ender chest but there's no trap chests in the Xbox version, and worse yet, there is no hoppers. Nope. You've got your tripwire hook, which activates a trap chest. There's no trap chest. Other than that, there haven't been many additions in the latest versions. As I say, you can craft a golden helmet now, should you want to, but the golden armour, aside from looking nice, doesn't last as long as the iron stuff, so really the iron's far more plentiful. So gold, the only thing I can see it as being any use for is trading with villagers, which I think they've included. Haven't come across any villagers yet, to be honest, but I think they've included that for the latest update. So batter cobblestone in here. I'll leave a shovel and a pickaxe down here at present. Stick that in there, and there's some dirt. Just to fill this up with the materials that I don't really need. Gravel. Stick a few bits of coal in there and stick the gold in to smelt. Take a wee note of the coordinates of where we are. We are at level 10, so say they spawn between level 9 and level 14. Level 10 is also a good level for diamonds. So we're at X minus 229 and Z 110. So let's climb out of this hole. And we'll go back to base. Just so I can see how easy it's going to be to connect the two in the future. Might even do it via a minecart system later on, once I've got enough resources to do such things. So it's this way back. And there's a creeper there, there's a creeper there, there's a creeper there. Run! Stinky, stupid creeper. Stupid things. Just an interesting aside, having read on the wee smart comments at the start of the Xbox version. It tells you that the creepers were in fact the result of a very badly created pig. So there you go. So it's basically 100 blocks in that direction, and very, very far down. So if we build a mine underneath the base, back there somewhere, we can quite easily put a link to our slime farm. That's not a problem. Okay. Now, I think we're going to stop there for this episode, guys. Do realise it probably wasn't the most interesting for yourselves watching me dig out a little area, but I'll go back to it off camera, finish it off a bit, and see if any slimes are spawning. If they are, great, we can go back down, get some, and we'll start work on the base again, and maybe start building some sticky pistons. Next episode, I think we'll do some more work on the base, because it's a nice little room this, but it's only the entrance vestibule. It's not really meant to be the bedroom or anything like that, so we'll have further rooms, just out of interest. Yeah, it's quite high on top of here, that's fine. So, say it's night time in the world of Minecraft. It's bedtime for Scottish Steve. Hello. So I shall say fare thee well until next time. Thank you very much and good night.